Hello there. My goal in this series of recordings is to help prepare you for the ACT Math Practice Test. We're going to do this by going through several problems from the 2015-2016 version. It hasn't really changed a whole lot since then. And we're going to approach how we would do the problem if it was given to us on an ACT test. So I'm going to walk through my thought process like I was doing the ACT. Let's get started. This first one, the blood types of 150 people are determined for a study as shown in the figure below. It gives us this nice little chart. If one person from the study is randomly selected, what is the probability that this person has either type A or type AB blood? So we want probability, simple probability. You just take the total number that has that feature. We have type A and type AB, and then you divide it by the total number of people. So in this case, it's 150. This is a straightforward problem. I would do this right when I see it. I also would not use a calculator because the numbers are small enough to where I can do this quickly in my head. 67 plus 6 gives me 73 out of the 150 total, so my answer is D. Okay, so you just have to be able to be comfortable enough with probability that you can do that quickly. Number 2, the monthly fees for single rooms at 5 colleges are $370, $310, $380, $340, and $310, respectively. What is the mean of these monthly fees? All right, so it's asking for mean. I know mean means add them all up and divide by the total number. That's the quickest way to do it. And so since I have these numbers, I'm going to use my calculator. So we've got 370 plus 310 plus 380 plus 340 plus 310 again. All right. We're going to divide that total by 5, and we get 342. So that's H. Now, you could approach this problem if you want to make it a little bit faster on the calculator. You could leave off the zeros and then just know that you're 1 decimal place off. So, for example, I could do 37. Oh, give me a second. I could do 37 plus 31 plus 38 plus 34 plus 31, and then divide that by 5, and I know I get 342 because I'm 1 decimal place off there. That's just a little thing that can save a couple seconds maybe. If you're good with your calculator and punching in numbers, you don't even have to worry about doing it that way. Just know that average, you just add them all up and divide by the total number. This is definitely one that you would want to do right when you see it. Number 3, on a particular road map, 1/2 of an inch represents 18 miles. About how many miles apart are 2 towns that are 2.5 inches apart on this map? All right, so depending on how comfortable you are with fractions and with problems like this, you may want to skip this one and come back to it. One thing that can make you a little bit more comfortable is when in doubt, draw it out. So I would draw me something that represents 2.5 inches. Okay, and then thinking about this, we want to know how many of these 1/2 inches are there in 2.5 inches. Okay, so that's going to be, there's 5 of them. Because 2.5 divided by 1/2 is 5. All right, so that being said, I'm going to take that 5 and I'm going to multiply that by 18 because each of those 1/2 inch segments represents 18 miles. Okay, so 5 times 18 gives me 90. So my answer is E. Okay, so I know I may have underestimated people, but just from my experience, people don't like fractions all that much. Or they may get bogged down on the fact that this has this number here that they're not using. That just means that there's 2 different parts here. But this really isn't one of the hard problems. I probably would do this one as I came to it. But if you wanted to skip this one because it's got fractions in it or for some other reason, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you come back to it later because this is another one of those that you should get fairly easily. It's one of the categorized as pre-algebra. So, all right, given f equals cd cubed, f is 450 and d is 10, what is c? All right, so this one, we're just plugging in the values and figuring out what C is. I would probably do this one right when I saw it. So F is 450. All right, and then D is 10. So we're trying to figure out what C is. And D is 10. All right, my writing thing's not behaving. Let's see if I can make that prettier. All right, so C, 10, and then this is cubed. Now, you may be tempted to do this with your calculator. You don't really need to. 10 cubed, you should know, is going to have 3 zeros. So then you're going to divide both sides by 1,000. And it's going to move your decimal over 3 places. So my answer is 0.45. All right, this one wouldn't take too long to put in the calculator, though, if you wanted to do it that way. So I'm dividing both sides by 10 cubed. So I've got 450. Do it again. I've got 450 divided by 10 raised to the third power, and I get 0.45. All right, last one for today. It says if f of x equals 3x plus 7 squared, then f of 1 equals, all right, this is a functions problem. We just plug in 1 for x. That's all you do. So I do this one right when I came to it. I wouldn't even worry about using my calculator. I know 3 times 1 is 3, plus 7 is 10. So this part evaluates to 10. Then I square that to get to 100. Okay. And that's pretty much it. As you take these practice tests, know that they do categorize the things at the end of the practice test. So you can go through and you can see what part you need to work on. And that's pretty much it. I'll be back tomorrow with at least one more problem. And good luck studying. Good luck on the ACT. Have a great one.